My name is Christy Choice, and I'm a professional services consultant here at Tenstreet. I am very, very excited today to be bringing you the free tools bonanza. Today's monthly featured product is we decided to take a different route, right? We want to talk about all of the wonderful tools that you get at no added cost, which really increases the value you get from your Tenstreet subscription. Now, before we jump in here, sorry if you just saw something crazy happen to my screen, but before we jump on in here, we want to get started with some housekeeping rules. The first thing, this is a listen only webinar today. And so you can interact with us by going to the GoToWebinar control panel and going into questions and putting your questions there. You can go ahead and, if you already had some questions, go ahead and put them into the questions box. We're going to make sure that we get those answered today. Also, a copy of the recording is going to be sent to you in about 24 hours. And then last but not least, make sure you go to the tenstreet.com website to look at all of the different events that we have coming up. Of course, we're gearing up for User Conference 2026, so that information is on our website. But also every single month we do a variety of webinars, and so we want you to engage and interact with us. So I am joined by my co-host for today, Adam Benson, and we're going to dive in together. Ooh, hey Adam, how's it going?
I am wonderful. Thanks for inviting me. I don't know what this is, so I'm excited to see.
Okay, well, I'm glad you showed up even though you don't know what it is. Just kidding. So I'm going to talk a little bit about what my role is here at Tenstreet, but Adam, I just want you to introduce yourself to the people out there. If you have not met Adam or been to a user conference and seen him MC it, then you might not have met him yet. But Adam, go ahead and share a little bit about who you are and your role here at Tenstreet.
Yeah, absolutely. My name's Adam Benson. So I've been with Tenstreet coming up on 9 years. Can't even believe it. Longest thing I've ever done in my life is this job. So I'm impressed by that. So here we are. I was an advisor when I started here. So I was kind of on the sales side of things. Now I'm training individuals on our team and helping them present tools like this to you guys. So I'm excited to be here.
All right, thank you, Adam. Thank you. Adam and I work closely together with the folks on the sales team. And if you have been around for any length of time, you might have seen me because I have a really big mouth. So I like to chit chat, I love to talk, and I love to present. And so my official role, though, is a professional services consultant. I am here to help carriers win with the tools that they have in their Tenstreet tool belt. And so I travel to lots of industry conferences and events and go to visit clients directly. And when I'm not on the road, I am here at home, just working diligently to make sure that that we bring you quality tools. And so today we are again talking about all of, well, not all of them, because I don't even know if we have counted them, but we have a lot of different tools that we offer here at Tenstreet, and many of them, again, are at no additional cost. So before we jump in, each of you registered, hundreds of you actually registered, and I want to just throw a poll out there really, really quickly. We're going to go ahead and launch it. Okay, so it's a quick poll. If you've never been on a webinar with me before, you're in for a treat. I love engagement and interaction. So use the questions box, respond to the polls, and in the GoToWebinar control panel, I think there's a way that you can kind of screenshot if we share something that you want to see as well. But when you signed up for this webinar, which tools were you most interested in learning about? Were they the recruiting tools, the free onboarding tools, or the free safety tools? Or was there nothing in particular and you just like us? All right, yay, okay. Lisa just typed it into the questions box, but she just said onboarding, thank you, thank you. Ooh, all right. I don't really know what's going on there. Okay, okay, hold on just a
Oh, please put us all on hold to take the call. Please do it.
Oh my gosh. And it would have, okay, maybe it's gonna go away because I don't even know how to get to that part of the screen. Okay, wonderful. Well, we're gonna go ahead and take that moment to close this poll and share the results to you all. And so it looks like most want oh, yay, there's 10% who voted for us. Adam, you see that?
You know, it kind of hurts, but I'll take it. I'll take 10%.
That is, well, hey, I was expecting 0% for that one, so we're good. We're good. Okay, so free safety tools took the lead with a whopping 39%, 29% for the recruiting tools, and then about 22% for the onboarding tools. So thanks everyone for participating, and we are going to go ahead and I'm going to hide these results, and we're going to keep moving right along. Okay. Okay, so Adam, you know, Tenstreet, we started out many years ago just as, you know, the basis for recruiting success in the trucking industry. So let's just dive into that before we start talking about some of the wonderful free recruiting tools we want to share today.
Yeah, I mean, recruiting is amazing because, I mean, it's our platform system, right? Sometimes we even get calls from people being like, what's this on my invoice? What is this recruiting package? And I have to be like, that's your system. That's the whole thing. So that's where we got started here at Tenstreet. You know, the Intella app was the flagship product that we released. And, you know, still to this day, when I go to the user conference and I ask people, what is your favorite thing about Tenstreet? They're like, the Intella app. I'm like, dang, even after 20 years, it's still the most popular one. So we have really cornered the market when it comes to recruiting, and we're very sought after that. But we have grown exponentially here, even since I've been here, in different areas of onboarding, safety, fuel efficiency. But we definitely want to make sure that you're aware of everything that we have improved over the years and some of these free tools that will help you in the recruiting process. So excited about it, because the one thing I always hear is, I didn't know about that. And it's like, hey, just call me, guys. Call your boy. I'm right here anytime. We're gonna give you the email at the end of the session. So don't be a stranger. We love to talk.
Absolutely, absolutely. And so when we talk about recruiting, what I want everyone to know is that we are always adding more value into the existing foundational products that we're going to talk about. We're always looking for ways to make sure that we stay innovative, because you get to benefit from that innovation. Okay. So one of the first free tools that I want to talk about, you may have seen a little bit about it. Okay. This week I was doing some work, right? And so I was in the dashboard, and at the very top, there was a little, like we call it a dashboard alert, but there was a dashboard alert, and it was about this very tool. Well, these tools, right? But they work together, they work hand in hand. And today we're going to be talking about Fit and Interest Score. We released these at user conference, and they are free tools, and they've been live for some time now. But Fit and Interest Score is our take on helping you to visually see, you know, who is really more interested in your jobs that you have going on. We'll show you more about that, but also how they're communicating with you. And so we're helping you to stay on top of things, because we know the folks out there are super, super busy. Now, you may have noticed scoring in the past with Tenstreet, and that was like our legacy scoring. That was where you could take some criteria, you could assign a point or a number value to it, and based on how that candidate completed their Intella app, you could see what score. And we weren't trying to, you know, knock one candidate over another, but your criteria matters, right? And so we've reimagined it in a color-coded fashion. And so the fit score is what the old legacy scoring was. And it is just, how does this candidate fit with your criteria as a carrier? And so again, use a color-coded scale to identify which candidates to prioritize based on fit. The most qualified is determined by accidents, violations, and experience. And interest is an AI-generated indication of engagement based on how they're interacting with you. And so in this screen here, and we'll be able to show you a little bit of what this looks like when we get to the demo portion of our webinar today. But we see Darian here is a candidate, and there's a little puzzle piece next to this green, the green box, and that is the fit score. That puzzle piece is an indication of how does this person fit within your organization based on how they completed the application. Again, this is a free tool. We're going to show you where to go to turn it on, and we're going to take this puppy for a spin as well. And then that next little messaging icon there is the interest score. And what we're doing with the interest score is analyzing all of the messages back and forth between yourself and that candidate to see, hey, are they responding in a timely manner? What is the quality of the responses, right? And we want to put that that score there for you to see, because your time is super valuable. And someone may fit, but they may not be interested for one reason or another. And so it's not to say you're not going to communicate with that candidate, but you might want to prioritize differently based on the amount of time that you have in the day. Okay. All right.
I just
What else would you say?
that interest score is something, you know, when we took away the legacy scoring, you know, the fit score really kind of filled that spot. The interest score is such an added bonus. And what we've seen thus far with people using it since the last user conference is, if you're really utilizing the interest score, it is a really great gauge of moving that driver through those statuses and getting them to a final status that's higher. And so the interest score has been a nice little AI friend that we have now on our team.
Yes, I agree. I agree. And so we are 10 toes down with AI and really looking for ways to improve the way that we can engineer some of these tools to help build more efficiency in your day.
And this one's free, right?
Say it again.
This one's free, right?
Oh, yeah, I think so. Free. Now,
yeah.
Okay, you know what? We're just going to be over the top with it because we're excited about this. Again, the tools that we're going to be showing you today are no additional cost. So keep that in mind. If you are a primary user at your company, you may have access to the tool and you can update it and make it unique for you. Just like this tool that we are going to show you next, which is structured messaging. Okay, so structured messaging lets you request and provide information using a package of pre-programmed messages to save time, remove ambiguity for some of your basic processes. So when we are talking about structured messaging, the idea is that your recruiting team is going to initiate a message to a candidate. And you can create like a decision tree within the structured messages to capture information that's going to be useful for you. We know that it takes a lot of time to sit down, to write out, hey, if they ask me this or if they answer it this way, then ask this follow-up question. That takes a whole lot of thought. So we've taken a lot of that guesswork out, and we started everybody out with a few basic structured messages that you can go in and update so that you have the benefit of using these templates, but they can go as far as you need them to go. Structured messages can request courses, they can request additional information, they can populate tags. We can get real fancy, or you can keep it basic just to keep a portion of the conversation going. And this little screenshot here is from a tool that we have called the Tenstreet Control Panel. The Tenstreet Control Panel is your new best friend. This is your toolkit for you to be able to manage a lot of the features that you would have historically had to reach out to the Tenstreet account management team for. And so we're going to dig into the structured messaging. Again, it's a free tool that is included in the recruiting suite that we offer. And so really, really excited to show you a little bit more about structured messaging as we move forward. All right, Adam, anything else you want to say about structured messaging here?
I mean, I just think this is really cool in the sense that, you know, this is a free thing. You know, this is something that you're going to utilize as a time saver. It's going to help you communicate more. And what we always show is the more communication back and forth with the driver, the more apt you're going to be able to get them into a seat. So very cool. Another AI friend that we have.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. And the last thing I will say about structured messaging, though, is, okay, I was talking to a carrier and their structured messaging usage was like top notch. And I said, how did you do it? And they responded to me, hey, I didn't give my recruiting team a choice. because their fight was for consistency. They had one person messaging this way, another person messaging another way, and even the content of the messages were so different. They were like, no, 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 we need to get on the same page. And so if that sounds like something you can benefit from, hang tight, because we are definitely going to kind of show you all of that when we get to the demo portion. Now, it looks like we do have a couple of questions in the chat. So first thing I will say, please put your questions in the questions bar in the GoToWebinar control panel. And secondly, we're going to make sure we get each of these questions answered. Now, Molly said, how does structured messaging populate tags? And we will gladly show you when we get to that in just a few moments. Okay, I don't know, somebody keeps calling, but we are all good. Okay, all right, so Adam, let's talk about some other free recruiting tools.
Yeah, absolutely. So pre-app messaging, this is a really, really cool tool that some people are not aware of. So this is going to be a setting that you guys can turn on. Essentially, drivers can find your company now in the Pulse app and be able to message you even before they apply. So sometimes, you know, they might have some questions even before they want to start applying. So now we've made that capability available to you. Fun little bonus on that, when you opt into this, basically you will be listed at the top of a search under any sort of Pulse matches in the job search. So a little added bonus for turning that piece on. But yes, it's a way for drivers now to reach out to you even before they apply. Autoresponder, this one has been around since the beginning of time, and people still don't really know that it exists from time to time. So autoresponder is pretty simple. As soon as an application comes in, we can set it up so that driver receives an email and they have next steps on what they need to be doing in the process. So again, a lot of this is about communication and keeping that driver engaged so you can keep moving them through that process. So autoresponder for some people has been a godsend. So that's an easy one that we can help you guys get configured and turned on as well. Message templates, you know, you can email out of your system for free. If you're subscribed to texting, you can text out of the system. There's pulse messaging in the system. Now we have another way now with Call Me Now. That's a sidebar right there, but Call Me Now, you will be able to call drivers out of the system too if you subscribe to that piece. But message templates, as simple as this, is you can build the templates ahead of time. It could be as many templates as you need to. So instead of typing the same message over and over and over and over again, and I annoyed myself doing that, you can just set the messages and boom, send the templates out. So very cool tools. Just again, a lot of this is about communication and how much communication can we have with that driver to keep them on board with you as they go through that process.
Yes, I love it. I love it. So again, I don't want you to hold on to your questions. We do want you exploring your dashboard as we go along. Take a little screenshot if there's something here that you want to dive into. Reach out to your Tenstreet account management team, or go ahead and ask us in the GoToWebinar control panel under questions. Now, we want to leave some time for questions and to make sure that we also talk through or do a demo of some of these tools today. And so we're going to move right along from recruiting to onboarding. Now, onboarding, synonymous with orientation, synonymous with, hey, this is that secondary step of the process after recruiting. It entails a lot of different activities depending on your organization, right? And so when we talk about onboarding, there are lots of really cool tools that are available to you. But if you don't subscribe to the full onboarding suite, there are a few onboarding tools that are going to help you that are completely free. Okay, so let's talk about Pulse Video Chat. Okay, Adam, you want to talk about it a little bit?
Absolutely. So this one, you would find it in your subject's profile, right? When you're in your work list, you're in there, you will see if they're in Pulse, you're going to see a little camera, just like that video chat shows you right there. And this is a way for you guys to literally FaceTime a driver through Pulse Video. And so you can send them actually even pre-recorded or leave a message for them and just send that out for them to view. You can even call coworkers in other departments if you guys are really working remote like Christy and I over here in two different, we don't live in the same house, but I mean, you know, we are working out of the house today, but we're in 2 different locations. But yes, the video chat is very, very cool. Just again, another way to communicate, but you would see that right in the driver's profile if they have Pulse on their phone.
Absolutely. So now, Adam, that brings something up that I want to make sure that we truly highlight it. Now, I think it's nothing for me to pick up my iPhone and to FaceTime someone, one of my friends. Now, I'm an elder millennial, so I don't do that very often. I know, you know, my sons will be on FaceTime like all day long. That's like the default for them. But I know for an employee, employer, or even, you know, even if they're like a contracted person, it can be a little weird to think of just like video chatting with someone. You want to give them the opportunity to be prepared for a conversation with you, to talk through the next steps in their journey with you. And so I think a really underused feature is that leave a message feature. Now, I'm going to show it to you, but what it does is if you call them or if you email them and they have not responded, or you need to confirm, hey, did you say you're coming in on the 23rd or the 24th for orientation, right? If you just need to get a little bit of information from them, click the leave a message. It gives you the ability, just like Adam said, to record a video message for them. And that has that little personal flair, that personal touch. And in a world where everybody is competing for your attention, I think that's a really cool way to get drivers' attention and to say, hey, it's me again. Just wanted to call you real quick. You haven't responded to my last voicemail, but I need this information from you because I'm excited about bringing you on. Here are the next steps. Here's what I need from you. Let me know, you know, when you have a moment to talk. It doesn't have to be this weird video chat thing where they don't know that you're going to be like video calling them. It can be, hey, leave a message. So I want to see people start using that even more, because I feel like it is the unsung hero of one of our free onboarding tools that you have access to.
This is true. I mean, you know, you're right. If you video chatted me right now, I'd be like, I have to get dressed first. So like, I totally use the leave the message feature. Give them a little bit of time to prepare themselves.
Absolutely, absolutely. Leave a message. And so, yeah, because I mean, you know, we were just talking about that, Adam. This work from home life is not for the faint of heart, you know, because I'm like business on the top, party on the bottom kind of chick, you know. So give me a minute, give me a little bit of time. But imagine everything that a driver is doing during their day. And so it can be a little jarring to get a call on a post video chat. Some of them welcome it, or you can schedule it, schedule some time with them. But use the leave a message feature. I think that's super duper cool. Let's talk about some of these other onboarding tools like orientation prep, tags. Everybody loves tags, and checklists. Adam.
Yeah, so the cool thing about this piece is, you know, you can subscribe to our full onboarding feature, right? Where you can create your own forms, send those out to drivers, move them through the post-hire processes once you've hired them and they have to fill out all that paperwork. The orientation prep is really cool because you don't even need to subscribe to onboarding in order to use this. It kind of gets your feet wet and like, hey, are these electronic forms going to really benefit me and speed up the process? So when you do, what you can do here is when you schedule an orientation date with a driver using your tags, basically the system is going to send out either an I-9, a W-4, or a W-9, depending on the selection in the settings. So there's 2 free electronic forms that you can have drivers start completing. You know, what we've always shown in the past is this is a good indicator of who's actually going to show up to my orientation. Did they do anything beforehand? So very cool little feature. So if you guys are interested in like, what does onboarding really look like with Tenstreet, this is a way to kind of dip your toe into that water.
Yeah, because I mean, like you said, Adam, if they don't already have access to the full suite of onboarding tools, again, this is a free way to kind of get used to it and to measure the success for the tools with you collecting the necessary tax documentation. Now, again, this isn't for everyone because some folks are like, hey, I have other systems or processes to collect that information. So we totally get it. But that I-9, and that W-4 still need to be collected. And if you can benefit from it, We want to show you exactly where to go to find that feature and to turn it on. So as we talk about tags, I think tags really sets the foundation for solid reporting in your dashboard, and you can do more than you have ever could do with tags now within Tenstreet. And so tags are ways to categorize or track unique pieces of information in a systemic way, right, or systematic way. Okay, and so now we have status change tagging that allows you to make certain tags required when a status is changed, so that you can make sure that your team is inputting data consistently. So when you go to run those reports, you are not hit with a big, you know, oh no, type of situation where you're like, hey, something doesn't look right with this data. Well, if it hasn't been entered consistently via the tagging, then of course it's going to skew your reporting results. And so we have a lot of wonderful things that we want to show you about tags when we get into the demo portion, and then checklists. Let's just make sure nothing falls through the cracks. You all are super, super busy doing all of the things you have to do every day to make things, to keep things working and keep it moving forward. Checklists is your defense in that. If you have newer people on your team, or if people just really like structure or more processes, then you can make sure to build and manage your own checklists so that before that candidate gets to the next stage in your process, you have already accounted for every single step, and they can very easily find what the next step is and get it done. And visually, it's going to be represented with green check mark. But if it's not present, it's going to be red. It's super easy, very useful and helpful to your processes. Some folks live and die by their checklists. Okay, yeah. It's just what it is. It's what it is. And if you really want to go the next step, even beyond checklists, there is checklist validation. Okay, now this says, hey, you cannot move this person into that next status without this full checklist being satisfied. It is a very, very cool feature, and it's not for the faint of heart, but I've seen it used and I've seen it work wonders for your processes. And so, of course, you're wanting to train, coach, develop your team, but use checklists as a way to make sure that that you're using the system in a way that supports all that coaching, developing, and training that you're doing with your teams. Okay.
Yeah. I mean, the larger you get, the more that checklist validation is a godsend too. I mean, yeah, you don't want people moving things around in statuses when things aren't complete. So that is a huge point. Tagging, this one's funny because again, kind of underutilized, you know, as powerful as these tags are, but we've been preaching them forever and ever. But like Christy said, I just have to point out the ability now to, when you move someone in a status, to get that pop-up to say, these are the tags that I need to tag before I can leave this page, is also a huge benefit, and a reminder to everybody in the company, like, hey, we do need a tag because we are going to have to report off this type of stuff later.
Oh yes, oh yes. And I guess the next step, because Tenstreet is an interconnected solution, it was engineered to help you manage the full life cycle of your drivers, right? Not just recruiting, onboarding, or orientation, but safety management is a very, very big part in all of this as well. And so as we talk about tags and we talk about checklists, a lot of the times those cracks that you don't want it to fall through, yeah, you want to make sure that your team, your company is in compliance, and that you can put your hand on any of the necessary required documentation regulatorily, or even just policies and procedures at any given time. And so we're going to talk about safety next. All right, Adam, what would you say about safety? Because, you know, we have this this wonderful process of upgrading folks to like safety management silver or safety management gold, but the good news is that everybody gets a little bit of safety. Tell us about it.
Yes, I know. I even forget how much free stuff is in the safety catalog. Safety is like one of our biggest offerings now. I would argue, and I think we can all argue on the Tenstreet side, that we think we're the best in the biz when it comes to safety these days. You know, a big part of our whole safety solution is really to close all the gaps between any anything going on with that driver safety, whether it be CSA scores, the DQF, telematics, bringing all that together and being able to marry it in one system so you can tell the complete story. So to get your feet wet, once again, the bronze offering is in everyone's system. So it comes with a slew of different things, and we have lists. So reach out to that advisor to present the rest of the free stuff, because there's more than even we're going to talk about here. But some of the things that you can do is upload any sort of claims on those accidents within the system. You can basically do accidents, incidents, and upload those violations and key those into your system. That is all part of Safety Bronze. So you guys can start tracking those type of things. And that's what the point management system is all about. You can assign points to accidents, violations, all those incidents, and they basically color code those drivers, you know, green, good, yellow, okay, red, not good. Maybe have to have a hard conversation. But the point management tool has been, again, a really good way of just tracking all those drivers in your fleet and seeing how they're doing. And that, Christy, remind me too, because there's something regarding like CSA and the points management that kind of rolls.
Yes, 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 yes. So if you want your events points to depreciate in the same way that the CSA points depreciate, we can configure that. Actually, I think it may even be a default configuration now because everybody prefers it that way. But yes, like there's so many ways that we help you out. A lot of different tools that we release and updates that we release, you know, off cycle, because they're not just for user conference, right? We're releasing updates and all the time. Now, there is a question in the chat, and I want to make sure to answer it right now. If you have questions, go ahead and add them to the GoToWebinar control panel, because we're going to do a rapid fire and get all of those questions answered. But someone asked a really good question. They said, all of those free tools are only for primary users or for everybody who use Tenstreet in their company? That is such a great question. So a lot of times, so a primary user in Tenstreet is an administrative user. It's our version of what some would call like a super user. And so a lot of times we do give those primary users access to those tools, features, and functions so that they can deploy them out to their team. So if you have need of a tool and you know you are not a primary at your company, that is a real easy fix for us. Just let us know. We'll just loop that primary user in, make sure that they're all good with it, and we can give you access to a lot of these tools and features that we're talking about. And so really, really excited to make sure that we stay accountable to you as our client. So that's why we kind of do it that way, because it'll probably be chaos. Some tools are company-wide tools. They're controls that are going to affect every user on your account, whereas other things are just like a preference or a minor setting that's only going to affect you as the user. So again, depending on the tool that we're talking about, we may need to just give it to primaries and allow them to give you access. But I think that's a really great question. We want to give people the accesses they need, so please let us know if there's anything you see here today, you don't see it in your dashboard, or you want to know how to turn it on. We're going to talk about that as we get into the next portion. Now, Adam, you talked a lot about the Safety Bronze features, and one of the big points of that, not to be too redundant, claims management and points management. We're going to show you how that all works in the safety suite that you have access to. And of course, if you have Safety Management Silver or Gold and you've upgraded to one of those tiers, you still have access to the Bronze features. So we don't want you to feel like you're missing out on anything. And as a self-proclaimed safety management expert here at Tenstreet, I really, really love talking about these tools, and so we want to show you them as we get a little bit more involved here. Okay, now some other safety management tools we have. Now this one is an oldie but a goodie. Adam, when I thought about this compliance center, I was like, you know what? We need to tell the people. The people need to know about this here free tool.
They need to know about it. Yeah, when you put this on the list, I was like, oh, it took me back to a different time.
To a different.
You know, I was, this tool is basically a snapshot of anything going on regarding your compliance in your system. And we're going to kind of take a look at it here later, and maybe it'll make a little bit more sense when you can see it. But there's all these numbers surrounding adverse action, your intelligence processing. If you like numbers, this tool's for you. But no, it's like a page, and it's going to give you an idea of everything that's kind of going on with employment verifications. It's a snapshot of what's going on with your compliance.
Yeah.
Some of it's a little interactive, some of it's just numbers kind of telling you what's up. Either way, it's a really cool feature and can kind of give you an idea too of what else we can do in safety. If you're still like, I'm unfamiliar, you might be like, I didn't know you did adverse action letters. A lot of people do.
Exactly. Yes. So the Compliance Center solves quite a few problems and gives you access to a lot of really, really good data. Accident response. We work with so many carriers who have different processes and procedures for their drivers, right? A lot of times they've worked with their insurance provider or consultants, and they've decided on how they want to train their drivers to respond in the event of an accident. In Driver Pulse, we have accident response, and you can use it in a couple of different ways. If you like the idea of the driver being able to self-report events that are as they transpire, we can configure it that way, and you can train your drivers in that way. Or if you want to maintain your current processes for who they should contact, and you take the responsibility of entering that data into the system, accident response is for you no matter what your workflow. And so we're going to show you what that looks like, show you how to customize those checklists so that you can ensure that you are telling your drivers what specific data to collect in the event of an accident. So again, the first thing that happens when an accident occurs, adrenaline starts flowing, right? Take a breath, but if you train them, hey, go here. If you can't remember anything, you take a breath and you click this button, right? And you click on that Driver Pulse app, they'll be able to very easily find how to initiate a conversation, to start collecting information, and it gives them a checklist. Boom, do this first, do this next, so that they don't have to, they won't kind of, go against what your protocol is. So anyway, super excited to talk about it.
Yeah. I hadn't even thought about it. I need this in my just personal life, to tell you the truth. Like, accidents, I'll get so flustered. I need someone to be like, here are the next 3 things you do.
Here are the next 3 things in adulting, Adam. Like, oh,
okay.
Yeah, do it.
40 still trying to figure it out.
Yes, indeed. Aren't we all? Aren't we all? Now, I know you probably want more. Included in your Express subscription are so many other powerful features. Now, this is where I want you all to stay with me, okay? In the GoToWebinar control panel, if you go down to, oh no, there's handouts. There should be a little handout, little space. I don't know if you all can see, but you can go and take that handout. It says included in your Express subscription. Go ahead and download that document. If it's not there, we'll make sure everyone gets it in the recap email. But what this is this a document that we love to circulate to show you about the other free tools that are already included related to driver communication, organizing your workflows, managing those applications, and of course, safety management, because safety is for everyone. And so again, we want to make sure that we use this time as an opportunity to start the conversation about all the added benefits of Tenstreet. Usually during the fourth quarter, everyone's kind of just really thinking about, the year. They're looking at it at large. What opportunities did we have? What can we do better? How can we use our systems better? How can we work better with our vendors? And really trying to take that holistic look at how they're doing things so they can launch the new year fresh. If that's you, that is me. I'm always asking questions about how I can get better and what we can do to, just really take it to that next level so that you don't get stagnant and stale. This is a really good way to do it because you're using free tools and you are increasing your value of which you use Tenstreet, right? You're going to get that return on investment even more when you use the tools that you already have access to. All right, now, okay. Ta-da! If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to myself. You can reach out to Adam, or of course, you can contact account.managers@tenstreet.com. Our team is always excited and happy to answer any questions that you may have. So take a moment, take a little screenshot. If you don't already have our information, we're happy to dive a little deeper into any of the free tools that we've talked about. But you could also contact the person who you're used to working with at Tenstreet if their name is not on this list, okay? Now, before we go into the live demo section, I want to ask a question. We have about 15, a little over 16, 17 minutes left today. And so I'm going to launch this poll for us, okay? Because I just really want to know that we are on the right track, okay? So of some of the tools that we talked about today, I want you to go ahead and vote. Tell us what you want to see. That will let me know where to go first, and then we will get there, okay? So, okay. These polls are, okay. Close to 40% of you have voted. So I want it to be at least 60% before I close this, because I want everybody to be able to chime in. Come on. Oh, we're over 50%. If you haven't voted, I'm waiting on you. You want this demo, don't you?
Hey, also, Christy, there was a question I caught here. I didn't see it earlier. Can you do a group video for orientation?
Ooh, yes. So we can. We definitely can. And so that is something that can be scheduled through the onboarding tools and task management. And I will show you where that is. Thanks for pointing that out. Oh, that's wonderful. Oh, well, we have well over 60% that have voted for our poll. And I'm going to go ahead and close the poll and share these results. Okay, so let's see what we have here. Okay. Oh, a lot of you want to see Compliance Center. Hey, Adam, I think we did a good job of talking about it if they want to see it. So, yes.
Hey, all right, I'll take it. I'll take the win.
Okay. Checklist and checklist management. We will talk about that. And then, okay, pre-app messaging. Okay, perfect. And so we know at least where we're going to direct the first few minutes of our demo time, and then Tenstreet control panel. Okay. And then the accident responses at 31% as well. Okay, all right, this is perfect. Now, Adam, if you could just take a quick little screenshot of this so that once we get in there, I won't forget what we need to to go for, okay? So I'm gonna go ahead and, okay, I know Compliance Center and Checklist Management were first, okay. Okay, now let me get out of here. Let's close that down. And you should still be seeing my screen. Do they see it? You see it?
I see it.
Okay, perfect. Now, the first thing that the folks wanted to see is Compliance Center, okay? And so it is located in the Tools menu. I'm in one of our wonderful demo systems, and so I went to Tools, and then Compliance Center is right here. Now, keep in mind that because this is a demo system, there may be some gaps with some of this information, but you'll be able to get the understanding of it because you can follow along. If you are a primary user, you do have access to the Compliance Center, okay? If you're a non-primary user, you may not have access to this tool, and that's okay. So no need to, send a smoke signal or reach out or call us. It is designed that way on purpose, but if you need access to any of this data, let us know. We're happy to figure out a way to get you access to the unique information that you need for your company. Okay, so again, I'm in the Tenstreet dashboard. I went to Tools and I clicked on Compliance Center. It's that little magic wand. Ta-da! And then here, these are the categories that Adam was talking about. We have safety/DQF. There are 41 total subjects with missing information or missing documents. The Blue Wire gap score is here. Now this is to help, we announced this partnership with Blue Wire 2 user conferences ago. And it's to help you with those, I hate to mess this up, but the judicial hellholes. Sounds weird, y'all, but it's a real thing. It's the reptile theory. It is what attorneys are using to formulate a case against you in the event that something adverse happens. And so you can click here for more information, and then it'll take you to the Blue Wire site. Well, it'll just give you the information here, but then you can go to the Blue Wire site as well. So it's going to give you some information that's publicly available, but that attorneys are using in litigation. Okay. Subjects with missing expired documents. If you click here, you can very easily see the names, what work list they're on, how many documents are missing, how many are expired. And then there's like little shortcuts. We want you to get to where you need to get to a little quicker. So you can use this little shortcut to get to the safety management tool to get an even more in-depth look at this information. I'm not going to go through each of these, but adverse action has a whole section. This is related to your FCRA compliance. And so because you are running those background reports, and if you end up not hiring someone or if there's something adverse with their information, then you can use the Tenstreet adverse action tool. Sometimes you just want to remember, what's the verbiage on that letter? What does it actually say? Right? You might have set it up a really long time ago and be kind of wondering. And so you can click more information, and it is going to, you can scroll through it and kind of see what's there. If you don't have anything here configured, that means you're not using adverse action through us. And I know we're talking about free tools today, but this is a paid tool that you may want to take a closer look at. Okay. All right. So there's other sections here. Wait, go ahead, Adam. Go ahead.
Oh, I always point out adverse action. I mean, especially if you've integrated to get background reports sent into your system, why don't you have the adverse action letter set up? Because we can send out those reports with those letters.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, they really do go hand in hand and help you to kind of close that loop with your FCRA compliance. And so again, as you're making a list of the things that you've done this year or things that are on your radar, make sure you look into adverse action and make sure that you have a solution for it. And if you don't, you know where to find us. Okay. Okay. IntelliApp, we have this here. There's all kinds of information related to your application, recruiting, processing, clearinghouse, your marketing opt-ins. And so we won't click into each of these, but this is a really, really great place for you as a primary user to go to see more information about your company, so that you can dig in deeper and make sure that you're coaching, developing, training your staff. And that also, if you're like, hey, I think I forgot to do something, start here. This is related to your compliance. So start here in this list, and then you'll probably find some things to get done. Oh my gosh. Okay, what was next on the list, Adam?
Free app messaging.
Woohoo. Okay. So I'm going to go two places to talk about pre-application messaging. The first place is pulse control. Okay. Now, if you, before we talk about it, I want everyone to know that unless you've turned it off, pre-application messaging is a pulse control. And so what this does is it gives you the unique ability to make sure this feature is turned on so that you can benefit from receiving applications for those who have not even submitted an application yet. Recruiting is changing. Okay, I'm just going to say it. Recruiting is changing. And instead of you taking up someone's time for them to complete your full application, even though it's fast with Tenstreet, sometimes they just want to have a couple of questions answered before they do a lead app or even before they do a full application with you. And so I'm going to show you what that looks like here. We're going to go from Express in the top left corner. We're going to go down to Pulse Plus, and this is one of the places where you would see any pre-application messages. We try to make sure that you know what type of message it is, so that you can, you know, take a closer look here. I don't have a whole lot in here, but if you see here, down here, the sender type, it just says Pulse user. So in Driver Pulse, they could find your company and send you a message to say, hey, can you tell me about this or tell me about that? So anyway, pre-application messaging is really helpful. It's useful. And it is a way for you to kind of bridge the gap and have a conversation with someone before they have applied. And hopefully they do apply, and you can even send them a link directly from within this screen that says, hey, this has been a really great conversation. Why don't you go ahead and apply with us? Right? And if they do, that's really great. You can continue the conversation and continue processing that application, because now you actually have all of their information, and it gets real serious real quick, and I like it. I like it a lot.
You just connected a free tool with a free tool. Pre-app templates. Oh my God.
Indeed. Yes, indeed. Now, we're in Post Plus, which is Post Chat, gives you visibility to all of your post messages through Driver Post. We're talking about the driver facing app. And so this is what we were talking about here. There's lots of wonderful filters that you can take a look at here. Post Nav is a navigation tool that you can send out routes, and you can view where your drivers are on a map. This is a really cool feature. Post Bot is in here as well. And so portions of this tool are paid, but some are, come at no additional cost. And so like this job policy category settings allows you to turn on or answer some very commonly asked questions so that your drivers can have the benefit of AI responding with your messaging. Okay, now I won't go too far into this because we got some other tools to knock off our list today. But if you have not explored this, if you don't see all of these features, that's fine. Just let us know. We're happy to have some conversations with you and visit with you so that you can get the benefit of learning about all of these really, really cool tools that are available. Okay, Adam, what is next?
Tenstreet control panel, where it all goes down.
Okay, so we have a rock star team of account managers, and they are working diligently to answer your requests, to do training, to meet with you, and to really engineer wonderful creative solutions and make sure your team feels confident when using the Tenstreet dashboard. But there are times when you're like, if you just tell me how to do it, I can do it myself. Cool, fantastic. That is the Tenstreet control panel. So if you click here, this little gear icon in the top right corner, you're going to go, that is your shortcut to get right to the Tenstreet control panel. Now, if you click it and the screen is blank and it says you do not have access to this tool, womp womp, so sorry. Because it is very powerful, users just don't get access to the control panel by default. Okay, and we stand firmly on that. So if you don't have access to it, I'm so sorry, because you could truly do a lot with this tool. You can manage your checklist, you can manage communication templates, and like I said earlier in today's webinar, a lot of these changes are at the company level, not just for you as an individual user. So we like to make sure that we create these tools, but that we're responsible with how they're deployed and used as well. And so if you are a company user and you're not a primary and you say, you know what, I run this show, I should probably have access to that. We want you to have access to what you need access to. So just loop us in, account.managers@tenstreet.com. And we will loop in the primary user and make sure you have access to the control panel. Now, one of the other tools that we talked about, or we want to talk about, they both live in the control panel. So we are at the right spot today. The communication templates, okay? So communication templates, when we talked about ways that your team can become consistent, use the same messaging, and use one of the free tools that we've already created for you, which is structured messaging, this is where those message templates live. Okay, and so as you can see, there's bulk email, there's regular email, there's quick messages, which are individual users who've created their own little templates that they like to use. They can share those, by the way. Okay, and this is the tool that allows you to make sure that you're duplicating that and making those visible to all of your users. Okay, but when we look at structured messages, they're right in here. You can click the little pin icon to edit, or just click on it and it's going to open up. Here's the template name. Here's the message. You can create different categories for them. It is a structured message, but then I can click add a response. And someone had a question about tags. And so this is where, okay, I'm gonna cancel that. Okay, if someone said, are you available to come in today? And they say yes, I want to apply a tag. And maybe the tag is, you know, fast track them. They said they can come in today. Let's say I have a local fleet and someone can come in today because they're available. I want to fast track that so that I can populate that into a tag so that I can make sure that I can report that to leadership. Hey, this is how these folks are responding when I send this message. And I can revisit them, make sure they came in, make sure that I move them through the process quickly, make sure they get an interview, right? Maybe that's your way of saying, hey, I need a hiring manager available because I had 15 people last week say that they were available that same day, right? We want to help you get creative doing the things you're already doing. And so you see very easily, it populated all of my tags, and I can click on the tag that I want to use in this structured message, and I can keep building it out. We started you out. You can keep building it out so then you can run it out.
Oh, whoa. That one hurt my brain. It took me on a journey.
Oh, that was too fun. Adam, that's too fun. But we wanted to give everybody a good running head start. And then you can come in here, build out what you want, make it yours, make it your own, so that you can use these structured messages. Now, if we scroll down here, this is where you select which users have access to see these tools or these structured messages. So I can just click on everybody here. I can click Save Template. This one is, are you available? Now, I'm going to just go into, let me find someone here. Because again, this is a demo and I want y'all to see this. Okay. Oh, okay. Tester Carly. Let's go for it. So if I click in this little messaging icon, I can tell that Tester Carly has driver pulse, okay, as denoted by this cool little icon here. But if I click here, and I'm looking for the lightning bolt because we're looking to get this going quickly. And then now all I have to do is just find the template that I want to send. And you see it has a little like messaging icon next to it. That is how you tell it is a structured message and not just a template that someone on your team has created. Okay, so if I click the, are you available to come in today? I can still type in more if I wanted to, but I'm just gonna go ahead and send it. And then if I had built it out to collect more information, as soon as that driver starts interacting with the message, it's going to continue on that same path. So that is structured messaging. Lots of wonderful ways that people have used them to collect information for orientation or for onboarding, to collect more information that they need for employment verifications, to check in with their drivers. Hey, just wanted to check in. Are you okay? Or, you know, you had an incident a couple weeks ago. Let's schedule some time together. Get creative with how you use these tools because they're meant to help you, and you can continue again to build them out for your own benefit. Okay. Now, I ran out the clock talking about those communication templates. The last thing I'm going to show you are the course email templates. Those emails are in here. The email templates, rather, are in here. You can create different templates for different reasons. If you click Create New Template, for the trainings or the courses that you may send from within Tenstreet, if you want to make those unique to your organization, if you just said, hey, call Patty in the office if you have questions, right? You want someone to be able to answer those questions so that everything stays on track. You can manage those here in the Tenstreet control panel. There's lots of different types of messaging and communication templates. So if you have access to this, go ahead, go forth, explore. And then the last thing I will show you all, because I just go rogue on these things sometimes, is the safety management tool. If you go into events, you may notice that you already have access to enter in events and to view events, but whatever tabs you have access to, I want you to click on them and explore them. If there's a tab that you don't have access to, it may be because you don't have access to that tier of safety management. but I think you'll be pleasantly surprised with what you do have access to. So start exploring it, dig in a little bit more. Let us know what questions you have. We are happy to get those answered for you. Now, more people stuck around than I expected, so thanks for still being here. We answered Molly's question about populating tags and structured messages, but if you have more questions, let me know. A group video for orientation. If I click up here, I'm going to go into task management. If you've never taken a look at this bulk assign, I can create a video and bulk assign it. There's a couple of different ways to do it. We have a tool called broadcast. We have the ability for you to upload your own videos if you're using the full onboarding suite. That's a specific question. So if you need more help with that, please let your account management team know that you were on Christy and Adam's webinar and that you have more follow-up questions. They'll get it answered or loop us in. We're happy to help with it. Okay, my takeaways from today. Tenstreet has lots of free tools. We want you to see the value that you have of using Tenstreet, and it's not always about adding a new tool or a new service. Sometimes it's about digging into what you already have access to. So today, I hope that you are able to see some of the recruiting tools, the onboarding tools, the safety tools that you already have access to, and it would be wonderful if you started exploring some of these tools on your own and you reached out to us so that we can help you the rest of the way. We are happy to do it. Adam, what were your takeaways from today's call?
I think mine are just little steps make big differences. You know what I'm saying? So you can turn on these free tools and you are probably going to see a mountain of change in your processes and a good return on investment. So I am, I'm excited. I think my big takeaway, honestly, is the interest in the Compliance Center. That's great to hear. Safety has been, for whatever reason, in my experience, a hot topic this year. More than even in the past. We've had more interest in what we can do on the safety side. So I'm pleasantly surprised to see that this is a big takeaway for everybody.
Yeah, well, I love what you said there, that it's small changes, right, make big impacts. And so I could not agree more. Adam, thanks for being here, making this super duper fun, as always. Woohoo! Yes, and thanks so much, everyone, for sticking here with us even a few minutes extra as we talk about some of the free tools that we offer for you. Again, don't be a stranger. Please reach out. Please know that you will receive a copy of this recording in about 24 hours. But if you have questions, don't wait that long to reach out. Reach out to us at account.managers@tenstreet.com. Let them know you are on the webinar and you have follow-up questions, or reach out to your Tenstreet advisor. We are happy to help you close the gaps. You are not in it alone. And we want to see you have a really good rest of the year and launch in 2026 with those big changes. Okay, wonderful. All right, everyone, have a really great rest of the afternoon, and we'll see you again on another webinar. Bye-bye.
Bye.